What's good, YouTube? It's the One Outcast back again, once again, here again with another Rivals Rambles, where I talk about the final beta for Rivals of Aether 2. Yes, I said Rivals of Aether 2 because the folks at Aether Studios realized that they cannot compete with Marvel Rivals because it's actually a good game. Granted, I would have just gone with Rivals of Aether 2 from the start, or if we were feeling extra spicy, Champions of Aether, but here we are. Now, what I'm going to go over in this video is briefly talk about the August Beta, because I didn't do that, because there really wasn't anything of note to talk about, and also I was preparing for Riptide. And the September beta, and my general feelings towards that, and also how my hype for the game is kind of restored, to be honest, and as well as to why I've been feeling the way I do about Rivals of Aether as a whole. I know in regards to that topic, that last one, I sound like a broken record, but I just want to make sure I have it on the records. And now, without further ado, let's get this started. First things first, I didn't want to do a video on the August beta because honestly, there wasn't really much to write home about, if I'm being perfectly honest. The only thing I can honestly remember, and that made an impression on me, was that, cool, sliding parry works, finally. Only took a few months. But then again, parry still kind of sucks, if I'm being honest. And there was a lot of character balance, and I don't particularly like talking about character balance. And I don't think the character balance should have been the main focus in just any of the betas, but here we are. And I'll touch on what the betas could have been later, probably in a later date. Honestly, the gameplay in online is beefier than the July one. That played amazing. But the one downside to that was the region filter didn't work, and CC and floor hugging was still too strong. That's all I really got for the August beta. Now, moving on to the September beta. There's changes worth noting with character balance, but like I said, I don't really like talking about them because things can change on release. However, there is one character I will say is really not well balanced and probably flew under the radar, and it's the resident of the Swampy Estuary. It's Rano. He has zero end lag on a lot of his moves, but the most egregious ones being up strong and fair. It's not really an issue right now, but if he keeps flying under the radar, I imagine for release that we're just gonna see a bunch of Poison Sheiks running ranked if ranked is on release, or at least casual matchmaking. However, I'm not going to talk about the rest of the cast. If you want to see the patch for yourself, I'm just going to leave it in the description. But what I do like, though, is that CC/floor hugging getting nerfed by just making it more committal. You can't really just hold down and expect it to work. One thing, though, I'm kind of disappointed with was they didn't try this one fix that could have maybe solved it, and that being it just stopped working at 80%, or at least at the very least you see diminishing returns starting from 60%, just so that it can help later percents feel better, in my opinion, because it kind of feels bad when you hit the strong hit of Crag Fair, and the other person's at kind of a high percent, and they just go nowhere because they held down. It would have been cool to just see the other person just slide across a bit, I'm probably just gonna have a clip just playing that on repeat when talking about this. However, I will say the state of this mechanic being CC and floor hugging has been the best it's been for the people that actually like this mechanic and the people that actually despise this mechanic. I can at least say I can be the verification that I disliked CC / floor hugging since the May beta, but I can't speak for others. But I can say though that I like the state it's in right now, personally. I'll honestly end this part with the September beta with a few positives, and those positives being that they actually changed the colors for the online matchmaking. So instead of silver being the indicator of what's being selected, they changed it to gold. I honestly am baffled as to why that wasn't the color in the first place. But hey, we're here now. At least it's less confusing now. Also, the controller menus, like when you go to select bindings and extra options, the menu actually looks really good. It's not plain black and white text, so I very much appreciate that. Another thing to note that I believe the training mode for Rivals of Aether 2 is like the best it's ever been for this beta, as well as like it's already leagues better than Rivals 1, at least like during initial launch, because my god, Rivals 1 training mode was awful, like from the start until like, I don't know, 2023. As well, one other thing to note is the replays. The only thing I wish the replay system had in Rivals 2 was that it had the victory screen, like how Rivals 1 had it. But other than that, it's honestly already, again, leagues better than Rivals 1 in terms of replays. The only thing it has over Rivals 2 is the victory screen. Now, moving on from the two betas, I want to talk about my hype for this game. It has slightly risen due to like a combination of things. The first being that Aether Studios dropped a trailer on when the game is coming out. And dude, this trailer is actually immaculate, I'm not gonna lie. They show this initial cinematic, just basically like stewing up hype for the game, and then just showing off a few clips of each character that's in the current roster, and then bam, out of nowhere, holy crap, Forsburn's revealed as the next character. And as well, we were shown a couple things within this trailer other than Forsburn. We were given the release date. So yeah, October 23rd. So get ready to mark down your calendars for October 23rd. Yup, that's right. They're releasing this game on a Wednesday. Yeah, baby. Wednesday release. Let's get it. I hope you guys booked that day off, because, yup, all I know is I'm pretty much going to play that for like 2 to 3 hours, then I'll work the next day. But for real though, I'm at least glad that they have a release date set, because most of the time during these betas, we were all just speculating, and it was kind of killing me on the inside. I just hope that this is a date that they penciled in months in advance, and that they aren't just hot-shotting the game because they're broke. But yeah, no, like, another thing that they came out with in the trailer, other than Forsburn and the release date, is the name change, like I said earlier, because thank whatever deity, man. Oh my goodness. Dude, they were not gonna beat Marvel Rivals, because A, that's actually a good game, and B, like, dude, you can't compete against Spider-Man and like Iron Man and Black Panther. You just can't. You just can't. So they were gonna get screwed over in the search bar. So yeah, like I said earlier, they really should have just gone with Rivals of Aether 2 or Champions of Aether. But despite the name, like, we can all agree that we are all that, or well, at least most of us are hyped for this game to come out. At least I am now. The other thing that made me hyped for this game, like, again, is the most recent news we got. Like, basically on October 3rd, where Aether Studios announced that, holy crap, we're actually getting modes. We got an arcade mode. Cause, my goodness, dude, this entire time I genuinely thought they were gonna just release with online matchmaking. Cause, yeah, literally, cause of like how people were describing the game to me. I honestly hope that they come out with more things like that. I genuinely want to look dumb for my earlier video, like one of my earlier videos. I want to look stupid. I want more modes to come out on release. Like, I mean, arcade mode's a start, and basically what they have for arcade mode, it's basically how Smash does it, or at least how Smash Melee does it, but instead of Master Hand as like the final boss, I guess they have an Abyss boss. So there's at least something to do other than online matchmake. They also talk about training mode more, and again, like I said earlier, this is like honestly the best training mode that they have ever had. Then again, the Rivals 1 training mode is not a high bar to clear, but here we are. I'm just glad it's basically done. They've also announced that they are doing a battle pass system where the progression bar, I guess, is like how you earn coins and other cosmetics or other skins, which is honestly pretty cool. And they've emphasized that this is gonna be a free thing. Like, you don't have to buy like a premium battle pass for this, at least like that we know of so far as of me recording this. Now, a couple of things with like this part. The first being, I'm just incredibly happy that they're explaining stuff in these deep dives and what their plans are, at least just giving transparency, which is what I've wanted ever since like we backed this project up on Kickstarter. Like, I get that they want to be hush hush and keep things low key, but there's honestly a point with this to me. Cause I feel like we should know. We backed them up on the Kickstarter, and like I want to know what the money is going towards and like why certain things were locked, like ranked, for example. And if we're not gonna have ranked, like for example, like what are we gonna get in return? Because like I would like to know if there is gonna be like a competitive scene 2 to 5 years from now. But that can't happen if they mess up here. If they mess up in the start, you only get one first impression. I'm also happy because like we got 2 more deep dive videos. That's what they called it. Not sure if I said that at the start of the segment, but they're calling these deep dives, and they stream the video, which is like, dude, that's like what I wanted them to do for the character contest announcement for like who won. If you have an announcement like that, and like if you have an announcement like the character contest, or an announcement like, oh, what's Rivals of Aether 2 gonna release with, treat it like an event. Make it a big deal so that people talk about it. Make it a big deal so it drums up more hype. So I'm just glad that they did that, and they did that for this first deep dive, and that's probably what they're gonna do in the next 2 on, I believe, the 10th and the 17th. If I'm correct on that, please let me know. Now, the heavy part of the video, why I've just been feeling the way I have been just about Rivals in general, why I've been so negative. So I'll start off with, dude, the hell do you expect from me? The hell do you expect? I'm like, of course, bitter about it. This game I've grown to love for the past 4 years, and it just changing for something that's not even a guaranteed return. That guaranteed return to me being that I have a platform fighter to compete in, where there's just a crap ton of people to compete against, and that I'm in an environment to constantly grow competitively, whether it be locals or online. There's also the cold hard truth that Rivals 1 was just declining, and that was even without Rivals 2 like just being a factor. And having to stomach the fact that people say Rivals 1 is cool but then never try it, but then Rivals 2 come in and just grab people's attention, makes people enamored with it. Dude, like, you gotta at least like level with me on that. Wouldn't that make you bitter? Another reason why I'm just heated about it is because this is like the one moment, or one of the moments in my adult life where I just like gave up just immediately. And it was when I was trying to get Smash players to try Rivals 1 at a local. And this was like peak people complaining about Kazuya and Steve in Ultimate. And then not one single person wanted to try this game. Not one to try, and they did not, just had zero interest in playing Rivals 1. So, dude, yeah, of course, I'm bitter that Rivals 2 would just like have an audience just immediately, when like Rivals 1 has been out for 9 years and it would not be able to get a fraction of this level of audience and hype. So, and I also get heated when people say, oh, if you don't like Rivals 2 so much, then just keep playing Rivals 1. Bro, that is disingenuous. You know people didn't want to play Rivals 1 in the first place. You know that Rivals 2 is just gonna swipe all, like, majority of the Rivals 1 fan base to compete in. And you know that the reason for that is that Rivals 1 is way too different from Smash, is being one of the reasons why people didn't want to get into it. However, I do see this other side of the aisle where, yeah, no, like, dude, like, if you hate Rivals 2 and still love Rivals 1, the hell are you doing? I don't see you guys, like, trying to help the game grow. And speaking of which, I still haven't gotten an answer to my question that I've been asking all this time, since at least the June beta. If you dislike Rivals 2, but still want to compete in Rivals 1, what are you doing to help to grow the scene? Because I see a whole lot of sack and nothing. And if the solution is host money brackets, spoiler, dude, that is not it. Like, I am not gonna put myself in the red just for that. There's absolutely no way. The reason why I'm being so critical about that is because you guys were the first people to say that Rivals of Aether is dead, or at least Rivals of Aether 1 is dead, when the devs announced or at least implied that RCS is done. They've literally said, it is in your hands now. And what are you doing? Saying it's dead. Dude, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna help your case. And honestly, if the devs want to put all of their focus into Rivals 2, I don't blame them. I don't blame them, because honestly, the only way I see them getting a wider audience is that just ripping away what made Rivals 1 unique. And yeah, no, like, I get it if that's the case. And yeah, no, I'm like kind of on board with that, if I'm being honest, because I at least get people to compete against. Honestly though, that shouldn't be a crime just to want to reach a wider audience. But whatever happens at this point. I'm just happy to be a part of it, because this is a turning point in the series, whether it be better or for worse. I grew to love this game, this series, within the span of 4 years. I'm just grateful to be a part of it, and grateful to everyone in it. Now that I got nothing left to say when it comes to these betas, I'm just glad it's happened, and that the final one is panning out the way it's panning out right now, because honestly, I've had a ton of grievances, like, over the course since April of how the beta, or just not just the beta, like, just Rivals 2, how Rivals 2 has been panning out in general. And despite all those grievances, like, I'm just glad it's panning out the way it is, because this could have easily been worse. And the devs are honestly just doing their best and taking in community feedback, and I'm appreciative of that. I really appreciate that. And honestly, I'm honestly just glad that people are talking about Rivals of Aether. Because again, I've like grown to love this series over the course of the 4 years I've been a part of it. Like, because we went from nobody talking about Rivals and not knowing its existence to at least like a lot of people acknowledging its existence, and like I'm grateful for that. And yeah, no, just I'm just looking forward to the future of Rivals. And yeah, no, that's gonna be it for me. If you like what I had to say, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, as well as that you can follow my Twitch and Twitter. Twitter, you can see when I go live. I usually announce that. And on Twitch, I stream typically Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays, and sporadically in the middle of the week, maybe. And I also stream on YouTube, so that's even more incentive to subscribe if you want to see what I'm up to. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Peace.